Viewers beware, this video is actually kind of very gross sometimes. Just be careful. Advertising a terrible evil that has infected every part of our lives like a terrible, dumb, stupid disease. It can be pretty annoying sometimes. You know what else sucks and is pretty annoying? Video games. Combine the two and you get... Video game advertising, it can be pretty weird sometimes, and I'm not talking about commercials. No, I'm talking about full-on marketing stunts where a company does some annoying thing out in public to try to get you to buy their dumb new game. These companies have done some crazy and just weird things for marketing. Today I'll be exploring them all the interesting ones I could find at least. From potential bomb threats to, well, giving away sex, let's look at terrible marketing stunts. So while doing research, I learned something. Gaming companies love terrifying the public for some reason. Well, I say for some reason, but we'll talk about this more later. They've done all sorts of absolutely terrible, awful things, such as Capcom spreading realistic fake body parts around London to promote Resident Evil 5. It was for some sort of scavenger hunt. Participants were supposed to find these body parts and bring them to a bridge and yell Kijuju, I hope I pronounced that right, for a chance to win a holiday to Africa, the place the game takes place in. Of course, people that had no idea what was going on, which was most people, called the cops. And for some reason, people also decided to just steal the body parts. There's also real raw chicken livers thrown out for, quote, added gore. Totally sanitary and won't spread any diseases. It was just a mess all around, but no charges were made and the contest did have a winner after all, so I guess it all worked out in the end. But when Resident Evil 6 was coming out, Capcom had to one-up themselves. And what did they decide to do this time? Well, any cannibals in the chat? Yes, Capcom had set up a shop that was selling human meat. Well, not really human meat, it was just meat made to look like realistic human flesh. Incredibly normal. You may have noticed that I've been censoring the images for these two entries, and that's because it does look realistic and they're very gross. I just can't show it. I'm sparing you. You can look it up if you want, just be warned, it's awful. They had dick sausages. Anyways, I am so sorry for opening it with something so gross, let's move on.
Women.
Another company that loves scaring the public is Ubisoft. I thought I said I was moving on to something less gross.
Women.
They've done a couple terrible things, one of them just being a very bad, dumb accident, and that is the Watch Dogs bomb scare. So Ubisoft sent a game journalist a jet black safe and a letter. The letter told this journalist to check their voicemail, but they fucked it up. They never left a voicemail. So, this poor journalist got a scary black safe in the mail with no warning at all and a scary letter that led to nothing. That's fucked up. And to make it even worse, when they tried to put a code into the safe, it started beeping. So they then had to alert a bomb squad. All that was in the package was a copy of a very mediocre game, a hat, and a beanie. This was all just so stupid. Could you believe that they did something even stupider? Probably can actually, not very surprising at all, huh? But I was still shocked when I found out that they had the cops called on... The fuck was that? But I was still shocked when I found out they had the cops called on them for a potential shooting threat. To advertise the game's Splinter Cell Conviction, they had a person go into a bar with bandages on their hands waving a fake gun around. This obviously terrorized everyone in the area, making them hide under the tables and call the cops. Luckily, the cops realized what was going on before shooting, very lucky, and no one was convicted, very lucky. At least it was all worth it in the end. I'm sure everyone remembers this game. I totally didn't forget this game's name like 3 times while making this video. It looks like every other generic shooter coming out at this time. Transition. I'm sure that sounded fantastic on the video. They had a decapitated goat at a party to celebrate God of War's 2 release. Yes, that's right. So, a UK newspaper called The Mail wrote an article about this called Slaughter, Horror at Sony's Depraved Promotion Stunt with Decapitated Goat. In this article, they described how attendees had to pull meat out of a goat's still warm carcass and eat it. What? This article was very, very exaggerated. It was true that there was a decapitated goat. There's a picture of it, but I'm not showing that. But it wasn't still warm or anything like that. It came from a butcher shop and was returned afterwards, and there was just soup in it. I've Of course, that's still weird as hell. I wouldn't have eaten anything from that, but the article made it sound like some sort of demonic shit was going on. Of course, this was the 2000s. Old people hated video games, and some parents were terrified of how they thought games might affect their kids. And the media just loved to take advantage of these facts. That's how articles like this got made, and that's how this article was spread around as if there was some sort of demonic shit going on. But in actuality, they were just going a little bit too far trying to have a party that fits the theme of the game. Anyways, let's move on and talk about the totally not knockoff God of War, Dante's Inferno. A lot of these games are from the PS3, Xbox 360 generation, aren't they? This game is actually pretty much only remembered now for its dumb marketing stunts, and for being a lame knockoff of God of War, of course. Well, let's start off with one of its marketing stunts, the fake protests. At E3 2009, they had actors protesting outside of the event against Dante's Inferno. They were pretending to be Christians upset about the game and calling EA the electronic antichrist. Not many people took notice of it because it was very obviously fake. Everyone knew it was a marketing stunt. But their next move did catch way more attention. The infamous Sin to Win campaign at Comic-Con of 2009. It was a small contest where people were invited to take pictures with their quote, booth babes, and post them on Twitter with the hashtag lust. They were then supposed to repeat this for the chance to win, quote, dinner and a sinful night with 2 hot girls, a limo service, paparazzi, and a chest full of booty. So basically they wanted people to harass their workers in this weird as hell sexist contest for their shitty lame cash grab of a game. Cool. This of course got a lot of criticism after word got out about this shitty contest. I found this specific ad funny though, cause it seems like an ad you would see in a shitty gaming magazine in the 90s. Not a campaign that would happen at E3 2009. But yet again, it was all worth it in the end, as this game is totally loved and remembered to this day.
Oh, fuck you, Dante's Inferno. How dare you rip off the God of War games? One of the best games ever!
Now, it's time to finally talk about the company that is the worst when it comes to these dumb marketing campaigns. One that's done so many stunts with so much criticism and to very little success. That company is Acclaim. Is Acclaim even around anymore? I never hear anyone talking about them or their games outside of this context usually. Their games usually sucked outside of Burnout? Do you remember fucking Shadow Man? Let me rephrase. Do you fucking remember Shadow Man? They offered to give money to families if you allowed them to market Shadow Man 2 on their dead relatives' tombstones. That's just fucking ghoulish. Did any of you even play Shadow Man 2? Probably not. Yes, that is a real thing they tried to do. Something else they tried to do was give money to people that would name their babies Turok to promote the release of Turok Evolution. Just make your child a permanent advertisement. Over 3,000 people supposedly offered to do this. They also offered to pay off any speeding tickets on a certain day to promote the release of Burnout 2, potentially prompting people to put their lives and anyone around them's lives in danger. That's rad as hell actually, and Burnout is actually good, so that was totally worth it. But sadly, all 3 of these things I brought up they had to back down from doing because of the backlash. And there is more that they did, but I wanted to bring up a question. Is any of this even actually real? Going back to the Burnout 2 speeding ticket stunt, the head of Acclaim's PR firm has since said that they always plan to never actually pay off any tickets, that they always plan to back out from the supposed backlash. They just wanted the controversy and news coverage. And that's probably the same for everything else Acclaim did and nearly everything else in this video. They plan on the controversy to get the word out about their products. And now it's fun to look back and laugh at, because who the fuck remembers Splinter Cell Conviction? You really almost cost somebody their lives over this bland garbage? Who the fuck remembers Shadow Man? It's hard for me to think of more bland, forgettable games. I guess that's the moral or whatever to this video. If you see a company doing something totally crazy and quirky and weird, it's probably just to get your attention in hopes that you'll buy whatever they're trying to market. Anyways, let's close off this video. Remember when Randy Pitchford made a subreddit for Battleborn Rule 34 and posted it on Twitter in a desperate failed attempt to market his failed hero shooter, which was released right before Overwatch? That was fucking hilarious.